who wants some more baseball, and the Oklahoma City Dodgers do. How did we get here? It's an amazing story. Alex Friedman, the voice of the Dodgers. He also heads up communications and broadcasting for the OKC Dodgers. Joins us in studio. Great to see you, sir.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I mean, did not expect to be about a week ago.
Dodgers got off to such a great start this season, long season.
Yeah.
And then it came down to must-wins after must-wins after must-wins, and the Dodgers kept winning.
They did. It's one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. It's essentially the equivalent of if you're down in a best-of-7 playoff series 3-0 and to win 4 straight. Which I think has been done, most notably in baseball, by the Boston Red Sox in 2004. It's happened, I believe, a couple times in hockey. But yeah, I mean, it's just incredible. All on the road, too. Didn't even have the benefit of having a few home games in a stadium they've really struggled traditionally. So it was something else, to say the least.
You were with the team throughout the season, as I mentioned. What was the mood of the team coming into those final 4 games?
I think it's like, well, we're here. You know, we're going to play until the final out is made, and that really goes. It's a credit to our coaching staff for helping adapt that mentality. You know, once a lot of guys kind of like left at the September 1st day to go up to the major leagues when the rosters expand there, it's kind of like, well, everyone knew where they stood at that point. So if they're here, it's like, hey, let's finish on a strong note. Why not? You know, I think winning that first of the 4 obviously has a lot to do with it. You know, the more you go, the more you believe, and I think on the other side there was a lot more pressure on them to not have this, what, you know, sorry to say, was an epic collapse, you know, on their behalf.
Especially that 4th game. At that point, it's just a landslide.
Yeah, total blowout. I mean, you still don't expect that to happen, even after having won 3 in a row. And this team hadn't even won 3 in a row in about a month. Hadn't won 4 in a row in close to 2 months. You know, didn't have any big losing streaks during that time either, but it was always kind of 1 step forward, 1 step back. And to see the bats really going, that was a big key, because you have to score runs at that ballpark, such a hitter-friendly environment. And this was an offense that, before that 4-game win streak, for the last almost 3 weeks, they were batting .219. That's not very good for our fans who maybe not be huge into statistics, and averaging under 3 runs a game. And then they just exploded, hit about over, you know, hit around 400, and great with men in scoring position. A couple guys who had been hurt came off the DL and really stepped up.
So if nothing else, they look back at this season and go, yeah, we did that for the, I believe, 3 times in the past 4 seasons.
Yeah, third division championship in the last 4. And I told guys, coaches, players when I saw them after that game, this is not hyperbole, but whether 2 of those guys run into each other down the road in 10 years, whether I won into them, it's something we're going to always talk about.
Yeah.
Just simply unbelievable. Not only 4 straight wins, but 4 wins in 2 days, dealing with some weather issues out there, forcing games that, you know, wouldn't have been played otherwise unless we kept winning. So it was pretty neat to be a part of.
Such a lot of high-pressure baseball in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, it really was. You know, the last couple weeks of the season were essentially playoff games begin, being in a big tight playoff race with Colorado Springs, and you know, had a series here against them in which they split, which was not surprising. But then to go on the road and drop 3 straight against an Iowa team that's not very good, and really cost themselves some wins by some just poor play in the field. Really started to think, well, it wasn't going to happen this year. And that was okay, you know, it was fine. And then after losing the first game in Colorado Springs the way they did, having a lead in the 7th inning, and then Colorado Springs just going off and finishing on a big rally, you know, again, like I said, it was, hey, you know, it was a good season. They got it to this point. It's fortunate, you know, they're playing meaningful baseball this far into the year. But then to win it all and then go to the playoffs, it's something else.
Also wrecks those travel plans, doesn't it?
You know, I give a huge credit to our operations staff who deals with all this, Mitch Stubenhofer and Corey Hintz, because we were originally supposed to fly back to Oklahoma City on Monday night after our games were over. But with having to play 2 games and then going past when we would have had to leave and all that, I didn't make that flight on Monday night, and they scrambled, split us up over 4 different flights throughout the day.
Wow.
A couple on Southwest, a couple on United to get back to Oklahoma City. So they did just such a magnificent job of that. Give a credit to the Hilton Garden Inn in Colorado Springs as well, being accommodating for us and being able to be understanding. Of course, they were going to have to host some playoff games anyway, so they had some room set aside. So they were great to work with. And again, it was crazy, but it's just all part of it.
I was following you on social media. You were tweeting about the travel plans. How big of a party, last question on this, goes, you know, on the traveling when you guys are on the road?
Yeah, it's usually around 35 people.
Okay.
There's a roster of 25 active players, plus a couple who might be hurt, then a coaching staff and myself. So yeah, it can be around 35 to 40 people. So it's and when you're flying commercially, you know, it's not like, oh hey, the charter plane's ready to go whenever we want. So it's it's a bit of a challenge, and it can be certainly hectic. And you'll run into that throughout the year, but maybe not quite something like this.
Chatting with Alex Friedman. He's the voice of the Oklahoma City Dodgers, and you can hear him in action today as the playoffs get started. The Dodgers are hosting the Memphis Redbirds to best-of-5 series.
Best of 5, obviously we're supposed to start last night. Had record rainfall here for September the 5th, and we'll see how hopefully today cooperates. Oh yeah, like I said, it's just another chapter in this really weird week. During the regular season, Memphis had the league's best record, but they've lost a lot of key players. You know, their biggest strength was their starting pitching. Well, they're all in St. Louis now. The Dodgers, and manager Bill Hassman has always said, you know, even though a lot of these key games are played past September the 1st, when certain guys go up to the major leagues, that he felt that our second tier, so to speak, was stronger than a lot of other teams. And I think that definitely showed, you know, in that last series in Colorado Springs. Memphis, like I said, they lost a lot of key players, both starting pitchers, both position players. But the Cardinals, they're a team that always, throughout their minor league system, very fundamentally sound, do all the small things right. They won 10 of 16 in the regular season series. But again, you know, the example I gave was 2015 when the OKC Dodgers had the league's best record by a wide margin. Played a Round Rock team in the first round of the playoffs. They had gone 11-5 against in the regular season and didn't get by them in the playoffs. So it's just a whole different set of scenarios. So like you said, 2 games hopefully today, and then the series shifts to Memphis for the final 3.
Okay, so again, best-of-5 series, the Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. First pitch at 5:05 this evening as we tape this on Thursday, September 6, 2018. That second game, following the first game, obviously, about 30, 45 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, about 30 minutes. Gates today will open at 4 o'clock. Okay. $2 Thursday, as always. You know, $2.
I saw somebody post on social media 2 baseball games. Does that still mean the specials that have run all year long for Thursday night?
It certainly does. So $2, sodas, bottled water, and select beers on sale from the time the gates open. So it's a bit muggy out there, but that's a great way to cool off.
As I mentioned, he's the voice of the Dodgers. If you can't make it out to the ballpark tonight, you can hear this gentleman on OKCDodgers.com, also 1340thegame.com on your iHeartRadio as well. There was also some other news this week of the Dodgers and the Dodgers, meaning the Oklahoma City Dodgers, the affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers. That contract has been extended.
Yes, it has been, which is obviously very exciting. And the Los Angeles Dodgers do have an ownership stake in our team, but this is something you still have to sign the paperwork to make it official and all that. And nothing against the Los Angeles Dodgers, but in this game, you know, nothing will ever surprise me. So you just never know what could happen. But you know, this was a long time coming, of course, and to be able to not only extend with them here, but in Tulsa and their other full season affiliates. It's great to have stability, you know, for the players, for the coaches, for the staff, for the roving instructors, for the player development department. To have that connection with Tulsa has been very beneficial, not only in terms of player movement, but for when coaches come into town, roving instructors, player development staff, to be able to hit both, you know, very easily. It's just been such a wonderful relationship. Exceeded my expectations when it first became official in the fall of 2014, and glad that it keeps on going.
Contract extended through 2020,
yes.
I believe. One more thing to tell you about promotion coming up. The Truckin' and Buckin'.
Yeah, we've got some monster trucks and bull riding come to Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark once baseball season is over.
Okay.
So because of some field renovation projects that will be going on during the off season, gives us a chance to do some stuff on the field you might not normally do. So it's certainly going to be different. September the 22nd, 23rd, tickets are on sale now. And yeah, see some monster trucks, see some bull riding. I don't know if anyone will be bull riding on top of a monster truck, but it should be a good time.
All right, good stuff. That's, of course, coming up at the Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. You can find more information at OKCDodgers.com, including the Dodgers in action today, 2 games against the Memphis Redbirds, games 1 and 2 of that best-of-5 series. Alex, congratulations on a long, successful season, and best of luck with the playoffs. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully we'll be back next week.
Sounds great.